Well guys, I was kind of hesitant to make this video because every time I make a video talking about something personal or telling a story about something that happened to me, I'll always get, some negative feedback in the comments. It's to be expected and it usually always happens. Take my video I made about 4 or 5 months ago about the guy that I ran into at the local Dollar General store that smelt so bad. I mean, that guy, I still remember, it was just awful. He smelled like someone he smelled like a zombie that had been dead for 4 or 5 days and walking around. And that's pretty much how, if you can imagine how the guy smelled, that's how he smelled. But anyway, I posted that video and I got quite a few negative comments actually from people saying I was calling the guy out and I was publicly shaming the guy. And that wasn't factual because I didn't post the guy's name. I know who the guy was. I know his name. I actually used to work with the guy. I had a factory that I worked at years and years ago. So I know who the guy was, but I didn't say his name. I didn't post a video. I didn't post a screenshot of his Facebook profile. No one knew who I was actually talking about. So there was no actual insult to any individual, even though the story was 100% factual. But no one knew who I was talking about. Even if you lived here in this county where I live at, even in this town where I live at, and watching these videos, there's no way anyone would have known who I was talking about. So there wasn't anything wrong with that video, but a lot of people related to that video because they've been through similar things themselves with, people who don't bathe as they should and let themselves get in a really stinky situation. And by the time I get out of the store, like I said in the video, I was just about to throw up. It was so bad. It was absolutely horrible. And still yet people blamed me for making that video, or at least some did. But a lot of people, like I said, related to what I was saying and thought it was funny because they'd been through the same thing themselves. But no one was called out. Just like this video I'm going to make now, no one's going to be called out. Not going to call any names. Not going to put their profile photograph up here for everyone to see or anything like that. So let's get on with these stories. Actually, 2 different stories, and this happened back when I was in my late 30s and early 40s. I'll be 52 years old here, November the 5th actually. Remember the 5th of November. And during that time, I was dating a lot. I would meet women at, the gas station, at Walmart, the corner store, wherever, and if I thought they were decent looking and I got, the eye contact, I would start up a conversation. And sometimes it would end up in a date. Sometimes it wouldn't. That was fine. But it's the only way to know is to actually go up and introduce yourself and start talking. And that's what I would do. Get the eye contact first, get a smile, go up and start talking. But I also would go on Facebook, and if someone was on there that I saw the photograph that I thought looked interesting, I would send a friend request and see if I got, accepted in that friend request. Or sometimes these women would send me a friend request and I would look at the profile photograph and I'd be like, interesting, so I would accept that friend request. And sometimes, we'd start up conversations and we would talk through Facebook, and I actually met 5 different women that way. And I'm sure a couple are probably watching these videos right now. Hi, how you doing, by the way? You missed me yet? But anyway, there was these 2 that I talked to, and the first one, I spent about 3 weeks actually talking to this girl through Facebook Messenger, and we talked on the phone some, and it seemed to be going pretty well actually. But I went to meet her for a conversation, not a date, because I never usually would go on take a woman on a date, actual date, and spend money like going out to eat and things just to talk, because when you start dating, you will learn that some people will go on dates just to get a free meal, to get taken out to the movies, to get a free meal, or to get what they can and not giving anything back at all, and actually have no interest in the man. A lot of women, not a lot, but some women are bad to do that. They will go out with the man, knowing they have no interest whatsoever in that talking to that guy again, but they will accept the date to go out, to get a free meal, to go into town, and the guy pay for it, and then it's like, thank you, see you later, and you never hear from him again. So the way to test to see if she's actually interested in you, I'm getting off topic here, but the way to see if she's actually interested in you is to meet for coffee, go for a walk at the park. Do something that doesn't cost anything. That way, if it doesn't work out and she's not really interested, and sometimes they won't even show up, actually, that's happened before too, then you aren't out any money. You aren't out, all you're out is, some of your time. But anyway, I went to pick this girl up at her house because we were going to go out and just ride around, right? And we've been talking, like I said, for about 3 weeks. And so I go to pick her up, and she lives in these apartment buildings, right? So I pulled into the parking lot, and I let her know, through a text message that I was there. And she said, I'll be out in a few minutes. So I waited, and I was waiting for the girl to come out, and her apartment was about 50 yards probably away from where I was parked at, because the parking lot there was full, so I got the only available parking spot. And I was watching the door to see when she was going to come out, because I wasn't going to stand by the door, and she said she wasn't ready yet. So I waited a few minutes, and then she came out the door, and I was like, it was difficult to tell that it was even the same woman. I mean, totally different looking. You could tell that it possibly was the same one, but it didn't look like her at all. And you know how a lot of people, mainly women, do this a lot. I guess some guys do too, but they will put filters on their photographs to make themselves look a whole lot better than what they actually do. They will post photographs of them when they were 10, 15 years younger and 30 or 50 pounds lighter, and they will post those on there, and you see that, and you're expecting that, and when they come out, you see something that looks totally different. But I saw her come out, and I was like, wow, golly gee whiz. And so I started my truck up, and she was there, and she was coming this way, and I started it up, and I put it in reverse, and I backed out, and I left as quickly as I possibly could. And she was back there doing this and cussing. But I left, and then I blocked her number on the phone because I didn't want to deal with all the crap, and everything. Another one I was talking to during the same time period, she, same way, had the doctor photographs and showing photographs of her when she was 4 or 5 years younger at least, and the photographs all had the filters on those, and she looked okay in those photographs. I was like, good enough. If she's good, if she's got a good personality and everything, the looks doesn't really matter too much, as long as they're not, horribly repulsive. That's going to offend some people, but it's just the way that it is. But like I said, when they're doing that, they're being dishonest. They're being dishonest with who they're going to meet. They're interested in dating. They're interested in going out on dates and things and meeting people, but they're using fake photographs, doctorate photographs when they were a lot younger, a lot better shape, and you're not actually meeting the person that you think that you're meeting. That's like, a woman. If some guy told her that, and this happens, I would say, that he had all kinds of money, his own business and things, and all kinds of financial assets, and she goes out on a date with this guy and wastes his time, and then finds out that he lives with his mother in the basement, and there's all made up lies, it's kind of the same thing. But I went to meet this other girl. We talked for a while, like I said, on Facebook, and I went to meet her at the park. And she actually had 2 kids with her. And I knew she would have her kids with her. We were just going to meet and talk there at the park. And I drove through, and I looked, and I saw her. I'd been on this side when I drove through. And I was like, is that her? I mean, it looked like that from the photographs I saw to what I saw passing by, she had gained 150 pounds, what it looked like. Huge, huge. And like I said, if she'd been honest about it, it'd been a different story. But she was showing photographs and she was a lot younger, a lot skinnier. And not a lot younger, but probably 5 or 10 years younger and 150 pounds skinnier. And I was like, is that the right person or not? I couldn't even know for sure when I passed by. That's so much difference the way it looked. So I drive down, all the way down to the end of the park. And she saw me when I was passing by because she was looking. And she waved. And I was like, is this actually her? So I go on down at the other end of the park and turn around because I was on the way to get out. Or I went and just kept on going that day too. But I turned around, came back through, and she was still there looking. And I passed by and I was like, I just kept on driving. I didn't even stop. It sounds bad, but why waste her time? Why waste my time when she posted fakery? She was dishonest to begin with. It wasn't really the same person. That would be like, it was the same person, but it wasn't the same time period that the pictures was taken. Like I said, 150 pounds at least larger than she was in the photographs. And I wasn't going to waste her time or my time, and she wasted my time, in my opinion, by being completely dishonest about who she was, what she looked like, how old she was. Pretty much everything was a lie with both of these women. It was difficult to tell. It was actually the same person that I'd been talking to. That's how different they were from the photographs to what I actually saw. So that's two personal stories, and I thought they were kind of funny because really, if you think about it, these two girls that led me on, that put up photographs that were completely misleading and said things about, their body and things and their weight and everything that was misleading. So right then, they're not honest. So that's another hit right there. So to me seeing what they actually were and leaving before wasting my time and their time both was actually a good thing. It's a benefit to them and a benefit to me because I didn't waste their time then no more, and they didn't waste my time anymore. Personally, I didn't know what I was going to get. I was looking at the photographs, I was talking on the phone, I was going with what they were saying, but they were being dishonest. If they'd have been honest about it, it'd been a different story. But they were being completely dishonest. So, the moral of the story is, a lot of people on social media don't look in real life like they do on social media. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you think that, do you like these type of personal stories? Do you think I did the wrong thing? Even though these two women had been dishonest, had been completely misleading. Do you think I should have stayed and still talked to these women even though they were dishonest? To start out with, already being dishonest, already lied, already showed me, who they actually were. They didn't care a bit to be dishonest. And to lead me on to try to get me lured in to a date. So let me know in the comments below what you think. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching in the Creekmore Matter, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.